At this point in time, the business has evolved to very much strategic communications. And one of the way we can communicate really, really well in the business is to use visual tools and storytelling and make it into a story, because at the end of the day, we're humans and we can really understand a story. And that can be a very simple story. It doesn't have to be anything complicated.
Hey, what's up, branding experts? Arek here at eBay Design, and welcome to On Branding Podcast. And my guest today is Natalia Talkowska. Natalia is the founder of a visual storytelling company, Natalia Design, based in London, and she also founded Doodle, which is an event for anyone who says I can't draw and wants to learn how to doodle. So Natalia and her team help clients bring their stories to life. Clients like Microsoft, Twilio, Gap, BMW, Sony, Disney, as well as other smaller brands and startups. So today we're gonna talk about the power of visual storytelling. Hello Natalia, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for doing this. So basically you specialize in doodling, right? But for those who don't know what it is or how to use it, can you explain what are the benefits of visual storytelling?
I could speak about it for 5 hours if you let me. So to be very succinct, we always think of ourselves, when I started 12 years ago, you're right, doodling, drawing, visual, we're all mostly visual. So it was kind of, that's how it started. Let's just make everything, all your communications more visual. But at this point in time, the business has evolved to very much strategic communications. And one of the way we can communicate really, really well in the business is to use visual tools and storytelling and make it into a story, because at the end of the day, we're humans and we can really understand a story. And that can be a very simple story. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. And therefore, we started what we started, and we are using, to be honest, often simple visuals and illustrations and kind of media to explain something that connects, because again, we're all about simplifying the messages. And what we do is very strategic. We always say we don't want to just do pretty pictures. Like, that's fun, that's cute, but we really always talk about what these visuals can do for you in terms of a business strategy, in terms of your goals.
Right.
So you've got a goal in a business. How can we support delivering that goal through very strategically placed assets and visual tools?
So can you walk us through some scenarios? So obviously we can use it to capture some ideas, instead of presenting just dry text in a PowerPoint presentation, for example. So for the internal purposes, but also for running like strategic workshops, discovery session, and also for like branding and marketing materials as well, right? Are there any other use case scenarios?
To be fair with you, most of our work, like 90%, I would say, is internal communications for business, for usually mostly for corporate. So most of our work, weirdly, you can't see, which is a bit of a bummer for me. The amounts of NDAs I have to sign every day, I wish there was fewer. But we support a lot of internal communications, which means that, for example, if a company, beginning of the year, we have a lot of that strategy they need to implement, and it's a big deal. It's a high stake communication piece. Everyone needs to get on board. Everyone needs to deliver their goals. We support that. So we join in with these companies. We help them to discover, again, what they want to achieve. And we create, for example, a kind of a bundle of very strategically made visual pieces. And that could be explainer animations. That could be a one massive visual strategy piece that follows the steps of the company, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of use internally that no one kind of sees, but it can win a pitch, it can win new business, It can get new stakeholders on board, it can align the team, and whatever the goal is. And when we talk about external stuff, it can increase awareness of the brand, it can increase conversion, it can increase visibility. So it's really kind of, what are you coming to us with? And we focus on that specific goal and kind of tailor the delivery to that.
Understood. So just to sum up for our listeners, you can use doodling to capture ideas in a more compelling way, and you don't have to go through just dry text in your PowerPoint or keynote presentation, because as we all know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So presenting information or data in a visual way is always more compelling, enticing for the audience, and easier to understand, right? I know that you have this company, Doodle, which runs events for people who want to learn how to draw, or for people who say, I can't draw, I don't know how to do it. And you have some online courses on Skillshare as well, right? Can you talk to us more about what do you offer for people who are new to this or want to learn more and they're just interested in this and perhaps they want to use it internally or externally for branding purposes, whatever it is, how to learn, what's the best way to learn doodling?
Doodling. I mean, we all learn since we're kids. So like the first learning has been done without me. You've probably been drawing as a kid. I've been drawing. We all do it. And we all stop it when we become adults. Unless you have kids or you're naturally interested, you just don't care. You don't think of it as a valuable skill. You're not really asked to do it at work unless that requires it. So we just forget and get lazy, and often we get quite intimidated by it. As you mentioned, Doodly Doo is also under umbrella of the business, Natalka Design, and we do that for public, we do that for teams, for corporate, for VIP launches, you name it, we've done it all. And it's basically getting adults into one room, sitting by one table, paper, pens, just like back in the days, physical touch. Yeah, physical touch makes such a difference living in this very much digital space that we are. And it's all about sharing, creating, laughing, no judgment. It's a very interactive, very fast-paced experience that a lot of companies treat as a great team building and team kind of social environment. And very good kind of brand launch, product launch, services launch event as well. Often that's what happens. In terms of the courses, yes, you can go to our website. We have a lot of different courses, Skillshare also on the website. To be fair with you, how do we learn better on it and how do we get better doodling? That's a big question, but I would say start from learning. So that could be watching courses, that could be watching YouTube videos. There's millions of stuff out there, but mainly just practice. Just get yourself either paper, pen, or pad or tablet. There's again tons of ways to exercise those skills. And number one thing, just don't put pressure on yourself, because it's not about becoming a Disney character animator. It's about practicing that skill in your brain that helps you to think in a more strategic way, helps you to think more creatively, and opens up some channels that we have blocked on the way.
Right, that's a great tip. So what do you think, what are some of the common fears that people have, or maybe something that it's holding them back when they try to unlock their inner child and this kind of expression? You running those workshops, what do you see, what kind of a tip would you give to break through those, I don't know, maybe fears of doing this?
Number one thing is I'm not good enough, therefore I don't want to do it. So whoever we interacted with in terms of these sort of sessions and workshops comes with a bit of a closed body language, a bit of shy, a bit of quiet, and we come with so many narratives. I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I haven't been drawing in ages, what is this thing? I can't. So the purpose of these sort of, let's say, that interactive practice without any judgments, and it also is very kind of, it doesn't matter if you're CEO of a company or, you're an assistant, that doesn't matter. We're all in the same space, we're all in the same environment, and it's all about just trying and doing. And the more you kind of leave that pressure alone and out of the door, the more you can see you actually enjoy it. And I think doing things like, if I can give one tip in terms of if you would like to start at home, doing things with time pressure, that can be a fun little exercise, because time gives you that there's no time to think. Just jump and do it. Just start doing it. So if I could give you one little exercise for home, put yourself a timer for, let's say, 20 seconds, a rolling 20 seconds timer, and just go find a list of things to draw, even through Google, or get a chat GPT and ask to write a list of words that you want to draw, and give yourself 20 seconds and just go for it. So just get yourself out of that I'm not good enough, because either you tell yourself that for the rest of your life, or you start actually practicing. And that's, I think, with anything that we do in life.
You're totally right. So put some pressure on yourself, have some time constraint. That way you're gonna get into that flow kind of a state. You're not gonna be overthinking things. So you're basically saying that people often, they don't believe in themselves, they don't believe they can do it because they haven't been practicing for a long time, since they were kids. So the best tip you would say is to just put some time constraint on yourself, and that way, within those 20 seconds, for example, you have to sketch this kind of idea, and then you go to the next one and the next one. So that way you can get into that flow state, right? So what is the most You have a lot of work on your portfolio, but what would you say is the most like exciting project that you've done so far? I don't know, maybe branding or marketing, or because obviously you cannot really talk too much about those other projects.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones that I can't. It's sad. But the ones that I'm pretty proud and I can share in this public, quite old now, actually, some of them, well, depends where we go, but I can list few of them where, for example, working at 10 Downing Street and capturing Prime Minister's speech visually. That was pretty cool, I have to say, ages ago. Or being part of a charity book from royal family to save elephants in Africa and drawing some things for that and being next to the biggest illustrators in the world. That was pretty cool. You find yourself in very strange projects sometimes and very kind of not every day. And also, we like to really play with technology and be innovative and kind of at the forefront of what's going on. And even looking at AI and stuff, we don't believe in the whole being scared of it and it's going to take our job. That's like, again, a narrative I don't want to sign my name under. I want to learn it, I want to work with it, and I want to be part of it. So, for example, we've done, what is it now, 2 years back, first conference that was live scribed, visually captured fully in VR, with public, with audience adding their notes and adding their thoughts and changing this beautiful 3D room into a room full of thoughts that you can walk around and get inspired and move things around. So I'm always like, what else can be done in the experience of visual communication that can bring an experience, that can make it better, that can make it more understandable, more innovative? You tell me, I'll try it. I've been always interested in trying different things, and at the moment even we're working on something that I can't really say yet what, but it's in the space of, let's say, very interesting new technology.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So yeah, we can use doodling and visual storytelling for different purposes, right? As you mentioned, it could be a book cover or some illustration for the book, capturing strategy sessions. You even work with royal family. So there are different use case scenarios for this. So obviously, we're going to link to your website is natalkadesign.com. For those who don't know, Natalka is basically based on your first name, right? Okay, so then you have courses on Skillshare. We're going to link to those too. And for people who want to just connect with you, what's the best way? Are you active on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter?
All of it. So yeah, everything at Natalka Design, or you can find my name, full name, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. We're even trying TikTok, although we're not dancing there. We're very slow. It's the whole like old generation coming through to TikTok is quite funny. But you can find us everywhere under the same name and just say hi.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, awesome. So thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.